following the World Cup, there was quite a national focus on the young English players coming through and the development of our players. Is that something that might put pressure on the young players, or is it something that will give them sort of an opportunity and a chance that they can relish going forward?
I think it's twofold, really. I don't think there's ever a better time if you're a young English player showing some potential and form that you'll get pushed as quickly as you can. That's a good thing in some respects. We have to be very careful that, it's easy for newspapers to fill columns up and saying get rid of the old, put the new in, but as you've seen many times with young players, sometimes you have to blood the young players at the right time, drop them in, leave them out. That's what you would do at club level, and that's probably what you have to do at international level as well. Make sure they're ready to cope with the pressures and the rigours that go with international football. It's quite an unforgiving forum, as we've seen many, many times, that you'll get lauded to be up there and be amongst the big boys and run with the big boys, but it only takes a game and a honeymoon period finishes very, very quickly to be written off. So it's important that the likes of ourselves, the managers and the staff associated with England, we make sure, working with the club managers, that when we do put players in, we feel as though they are ready for it, both ability-wise and probably more so mentally, because it is a very big mental strain playing for your country, and you have to handle that. You have to be strong, and if you look at the two boys that have come through the under-21 ranks this summer, in the likes of let's just take Hart and Milner for instance, they're strong mental characters, and that's what's pushed them through, and that's one side of their game that probably suggests to me they'll have long international careers. You have to be mentally strong to sort of play at that standard on a regular basis.
You've spoken to Fabio about your team, but has he been asking you about more of the likes of Hart and Milner, as you've just mentioned, players that potentially could make that step up?
Well, I think every time you finish a major tournament, like we have, if you finish a major tournament and things go swimmingly well, you turn around and you're quite happy and there's not too much clamour for young talent, if you like. I think what we've got a situation where we haven't achieved particularly what we wanted to achieve this summer. So I think we've got to be acutely aware that, one or two players will probably finish their international careers, maybe. And obviously one or two youngsters will have the opportunity to stake a claim with the senior team. And now when they go in there, they must show the manager, in Fabio, that they're good enough and they can handle all the rigours that are associated with playing for the senior team.
The World Cup, you're obviously focused on the senior team, but did it give you a chance to sort of reflect on your under-21 role and the position of the team going into the campaign? And is there anything that you took away from the World Cup that you'll be bringing into the under-21s this season?
Well, I think the main thing that struck home to me, we ended up, a year ago we played Germany in an under-21 final. All of a sudden we've ended up playing Germany in the ultimate game that put us out the tournament. The German squad contained 7 under-21 players, We had Milner, we had Hart, we had Lennon involved in us, and I think that's the progression you're really looking for, to go and achieve something at under-21 level, gain that experience, and then take that with you when you go onto the big stage, which is a major World Cup or a major European Championship. So that was a real contrast for me to look at and see those young German players that had sort of, made a mark at international football at under-21 level a year earlier, and all of a sudden they enhanced their reputations, the likes of Ozil and various others that enhanced their reputation at the World Cup this year. And Milner's come away from his experience a year ago to playing 3 out of the 4 games at this World Cup. Joe Hart, whilst he didn't play, he just got better and better each day in training. So Aaron Lennon, obviously an under-21 player, and there was various members of the setup and the groups, but certainly when there was a squad of 30 announced, that had featured some 7 players, I think, with the under-21s. So it's important that these players are bedded in down there, and it shows the importance of that.
Fabio perhaps looks at your players about the potential that's stepping up, but you were away in France with the under-19s. Is there a similar kind of system in place for you, looking at the players coming through, and has anyone given you food for thought for the side that reached the semis?
Yeah, I mean, it's vitally important that that maybe I spend time with some of these players and get to know their personalities a little bit on the road, at the 17s, at the 19s level. for when they step into my squad, I'll know what they're about. Obviously, I'll speak to the coaches that have them, but from my point of view, to go and watch them play is vitally important. You know, I ended up seeing 3 out of the 4 England matches. I was fortunate enough as well to see Spain on one occasion and France play on one occasion as well when I was in France. So to get an idea of the standard of other countries as well is vitally important, I think. You know, and it was a good experience, France. I really enjoyed it. To be fair, our boys, you know, got to a semi-final and ended up going out to Spain, who I thought would win the tournament, to be honest with you. But as I say, the experience will do them the world of good. It's vitally important that you never lose track of the experience, no matter how well or badly you do in any given tournament. You still come away and you've got that experience of playing in a major European finals.